Alright, what's up guys? It's Bernsey. Going to be talking about some stuff today. Diablo 3. Don't really need to use gameplay for the game, what I want to talk about, so you can see me, you'll love that. And yeah, there's, 5 days ago now I think, there was a PvP blog update by Jay Wilson, he's the lead designer, I don't know what you want to call it there. But everyone's usually not too happy with him, and it was a big update about PvP. Anyone who's followed the game, played the game, knows that before the game was released, they had a working PvP for Team Deathmatch. They showed off, there's gameplay of 2v2, and the plans were to have 4v4 as well. Now, basically in the PvP update, they've decided to say, you know what, scrap it. They've had too many troubles and they need to look elsewhere now. So they've had, maybe 8-9 months post-release to trying to work on PvP, and we've pretty much had very little news the whole time, and now we get this. So a lot of people have been pissed off about it. I'm a bit too, because it adds a new element sort of thing to the game and the series, which is a shame to not see anymore. Now, so they've scrapped it completely. They said with no reward and no real objective, it gets bored. People get bored of it really quickly after a couple of hours, which is really crap. And you need an incentive to play day in, day out for 10 hours straight. I know that sounds really bad, but especially from Blizzard's point of view, with the success from WoW and that, that's something that they've needed to address and something that they need to do so you don't get sick of it too quickly. They're bringing in dueling, however, in possibly the next patch, most likely in 1.0.7. And dueling, much like it was in Diablo 2, so that's obviously one-on-one. Now, that means that the one-on-ones are going to be a lot more based on gear and a lot less on skill, because if you have 4 people in a team against 4 others, depending on what class each person plays, it varies it up a bit, and it's something a bit different, whereas one-on-one isn't going to be as much skill. There's still skill involved, but not as much, so that's really a disappointing thing to see, to be honest. Like I said, for now though, we're going to be looking at new modes to play up to the strengths of the character classes, focus on objectives beyond just defeating other players, and possibly even integrate PvE elements and rewards, so players against the environment, the monsters and that. So that could be endless dungeons people have talked about before, and they're finally, what it seems like, hopefully they're starting to talk to lead users of the game. These are the people that are at the top level of the game sort of thing. They play it, they might stream it every day as their job, things like that. There's been, on 2 occasions, obvious occasions, where things for the game, ideas have been taken from people who play the game, and it's a good thing to sort of see, because really they're the people that have played Diablo 1, played Diablo 2, and now they play Diablo 3 a lot. Often have a lot of good ideas which a small dev team, because for Diablo 3 the team isn't as big as what WoW have had in the past and that stuff like that, so they need new ideas, and just listening to the actual players a bit more is a good thing, and they've done that in the past, so hopefully they do that a lot more now. With the PvE part, an interesting thing is that if anyone's played RuneScape back in the day, I know a lot of people obviously shun the game because it's turned into a complete kids game. I played as a kid, and a lot of their multiplayer games with PvE, a lot of PvE stuff were actually a lot of fun, and you could take ideas from those games and use it in Diablo 3. Obviously, Diablo 3 is not an MMO at all, but you can still take ideas from other games, and you can learn from other games that have been successful, and obviously look at the figures. RuneScape was a successful game, and still is now somehow. because they got a lot of they always have new content coming out in that game, and there's just so much that you can do, sort of thing. Whereas Diablo 3, you get to level 60, what do you got to do? Grind to Paragon 100, kind of boring and Act 3 farming sort of thing. So definitely good if they could do that. Just look at other games and take ideas from it, because look at Path of Exile, they treat that as a joke, but there's a lot of people that have gone from Diablo to Path of Exile and are playing that now and think that game is amazing, sort of thing, because the lead developers are talking to lead users of the game on Diablo 3, and they've not stolen, but gotten a lot of those people to play Path of Exile instead. So that's kind of what's happened. I know it's a bit late now, but that's quick sort of views. I'll probably expand in another video more or less on what they need to do in Diablo 3, what ideas they could take, and who knows, maybe someone on the forums or something will see it or post it or whatever, I don't know, and or people could just share the ideas around, because they need ideas. They're, from what it sounds like, they're just fresh out of ideas, and they couldn't balance PvP right, so even if it's PvE stuff, you need new content in that game, because you don't want to completely kill it, sort of thing. Last interesting point was Jay Wilson said, we wanted to be upfront and honest with the community about where the particular project is at, which is the first real thing. It was under a subheading, keeping it real, and to be honest, that's the first time we've sort of heard that kind of stuff from him and people that have been working on Diablo, so that's a good thing, and that's something that I look forward to. If they try and keep it real a bit more in the future, that'd be really good. So what are your thoughts on PvP if you play the game? I know there's a lot of my subs are mainly for COD, but there's more for Diablo because I enjoy the game a lot. It's one of the only games I still play now. I've been playing it since release, a few days every week, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll do an in-depth video on what ideas they could possibly take in that for the future for the game. Yeah, if you want to like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Other than that, I'll see you guys later, and have a good day, guys.